I am Lucy Edwards, Director of Strategic Engagement at Matterport and VHT Studios. And today I am with Caroline Carrara. And Caroline, you are the managing broker and the realtor at Balistreri Real Estate.
That's correct, Lucy. Nice to be here with you today.
And today we're at this amazing home. Amazing indeed. You happened to sell it to a young couple a year ago. And now they have to move to San Francisco, I believe, and you were on both sides of the transaction.
Yes. Would you like me to tell you about it?
Yes, please.
So, yes, this wonderful young couple, we came across this house last year when they were looking for a brand new construction home, and they fell in love with it because it's a smart home. So they fell in love with the technology, the modern technology, but also the location and the neighborhood and the trees. It was just the perfect home for them. So they had to wait for about 4 months until it was finished being built, and the wood for the stairs was imported, so we had to wait for that. But then they were finally able to move in, and they made it their personal home. You can see by the gorgeous decorations that they've done and finishing touches. And unfortunately, because they love this home so much, they have to move. But for them, it's a great opportunity to relocate to California. So we listed it this year.
And so let's talk about that. The marketing strategy that you were creating for this home, and you were targeting probably the younger people because it's very modern, so I would assume. So what kind of strategy did you choose, and what did you do for the house?
So the home is very modern, and we gave it a title of modern smart luxury. And again, the current owners, they're very techie, so they enhance the original builder's technology. And this home has every bells and whistles in terms of technology. So the strategy was to market it. It's a luxury home. So we knew that it would be potentially an affluent buyer. And I predicted that it would more than likely be a cash buyer. And because of it being 2 stories, that it could be just like them, young professionals looking for a smart modern home. So in marketing it, it's first impressions are the most important. So it was photography, the drone video, and of course the Matterport.
So do you think Matterport, let me back up and ask you, who purchased the home?
Who purchased the home? Oh, the buyers who are. So actually, it couldn't have been perfect. It couldn't have been, like a match made in heaven. It was a young professional couple from California. So it's ironic that this young
switching places, right?
Young professional couple are here in Fort Lauderdale are being relocated to California, and meanwhile, a couple there is being relocated here. And, I hope they get to meet one day because they're twinsies from another coast. It was a great story.
And how did they find, because I understand that the house was sold as coming soon even.
Yes, so it was very fortunate. The property was listed, I believe it was on a Friday. And we listed it as coming soon, and our plan was to go live on Monday. And so we wanted to get the buzz. We wanted to the sign was up, it was in the coming soon status, the pictures were out there, the Matterport was out there, it fed from the MLS to Realtor.com and Zillow and all of the different sites. And wouldn't you know it, actually I think it was Saturday. It went coming soon on a Saturday morning, and I received a call later on from a man who said, "I'm interested in your property." And he said he was calling from California. He said he was a buyer, And as we talked, I found out he was familiar with the neighborhood because there was a couple of other homes for sale in this price point in the neighborhood, and he was familiar with them and said that those were nice homes, but they were not his cup of tea, that he really, really liked this home particularly. And I said, wow, this is quick that you're calling. He said, yes, because my wife, she's on a mission. She's been, scouring the internet. We just got back from a trip in Fort Lauderdale. We've seen many homes, and she saw this one and immediately told me to call. And guess how they found it? Through Matterport. That's what they told me. It was like a open house 24/7. I'm sure it was late at night, and she went looking through the internet, and she found the home, and the pictures enticed her, and then she was able to use the Matterport to climb inside the home and walk through it. And then she, ran to her husband and said, call, I want this house.
That's amazing. Yeah, just how you can change someone's life and fulfill their dream with the digital twin and with the 3D tour. That is absolutely great. You are a managing broker at your company.
Correct.
So, and you don't really list. So this particular couple, because they bought through you, they sold through you, but usually it's your agents who, if you get a listing, you give it to your agents. Do they use Matterport in their listing presentations?
Not as much as I wish that they would.
And why is that?
Gosh, I think that some of them are seasoned agents and they're maybe not tech savvy. Not that you have to be tech savvy because you don't have to do anything. I just don't think they have the understanding of the benefits that it has to a buyer, especially a buyer from out of state. And in Florida, we have such an influx of buyers coming from New York, from the Northeast, from California, that they need to be able to tour the home. And pictures are great, and pictures tell 1,000 words, 1,000 stories, but you need to climb inside the house to really feel it.
So what would you say will change their mind? What kind of education would you recommend for agents to have? Not just your agents, agents in general, because it's not, your agents are not an exception. So.
No. So again, it's all education. And I know myself, I've promoted it. I've had presentations on the subject matter, maybe not so many in months recently. So I would agree it's most probably timely to do a refresher. But I think that using my story, the fact that I am the manager and I was able to sell a home literally in 4 days, which is unbelievable for this marketplace. And right now, it's really an amazing home. So it's understandable. But yes, it was Matterport. So I think that that's a good story that I can share with my agents, but definitely more education on showing them exactly how simple it is, how affordable it is, and the benefits that you can get from it.
Can we go back to buyer comments? What was also helpful in addition for them to travel through the house and glide from room to room? Any other comments from them?
So I primarily have dealt with the husband, but he was sharing, he was under the direction of his wife. And he told me that she loved that the Matterport had these tags, and you could click on the tags and there was descriptions, both verbal and written, which explained in more detail a section of the home or a facet of an item in the home.
So so they enjoyed the audio as well, like the little videos. Yeah?
Yes, they did. And again, it just gave them more reality. It was as close as they could be to being inside it from their living room in California. And it was so much so that it motivated them to buy a plane ticket, to jump on a plane just for the day, to actually come here. And it was almost like they did a pre-inspection to buy the home.
Did you have any challenges yourself using Matterport?
Honestly, I would say yes. I'm not so familiar. I'm knowledgeable of the product. And I think when it first came out, I was really involved in demoing it and previewing it. But as of recently, I hadn't. So when I actually got Matterport for my own listing and I was walking through it and trying to jump from room to room, I was getting dizzy. And I was getting lost and not quite knowing the navigation. But I found that as I continued to go through it, then I was able to figure it out, and it wasn't that complicated. But I think when you first try it, and the fact that this one had all the different tags on it, so I'd never experienced that personally myself, it was new, and anything new can be intimidating.
Well, you overcame it. And now you are an expert.
That's it. That's it. Now I can teach it to my agents. And I can use my listing as an example of the power in using Matterport to market and sell your listings.
What would you say the ideal property for Matterport? Does it have to be something special?
One would think of Matterport for more of a luxury product, and that's an absolute necessity. But it's a product and a tool that you could use on any property, any price point, and even a rental. Again, it's the power of marketing. It's your job as the realtor representing the seller to do the best marketing job possible and to get the most exposure and best results in the quickest time. So yes, I would say use it for everything.
Well, that's a great answer. I appreciate that. And I certainly hope that now you can preach it in your office.
Absolutely.
And your agents will get excited and will use it on every listing.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope you'll come and talk about it.
I would love that. Well,
Okay.
Thank you for the invite. I will.
We'll get that on the calendar then.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Caroline. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming back to this amazing home.
And yes, I'm happy to be here.
All
again.
the best to you.
And to you. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody.